I'm watching the game last night, and I wanted to say, well, we've seen this before, but we really haven't seen this before.
No,
he's
had success.
Right. He's not been on a tear like this, and not for this long. I mean, he's on the kind of streak right now where he's getting national recognition.
He's in the running for Player of the Month.
As he should be.
Without a doubt.
As he should be. This is the best stretch of his entire career. Right now, you're watching the best stretch of Mike Zunino's career, and I think we all have talked about this before, that this is kind of his MO. He goes down, he comes back, has a little success, not like this, but then eventually sort of reverts back. Now, that's going to be the question. Does he revert back?
Yeah, we still have got to wait.
He's not going to maintain this. This
not
is great.
A chance.
Enjoy it while it's happening. This level of play is not going to last. Now, the question becomes, who is he ultimately? And I was having a debate with Salk this morning where we asked that question. I said, well, I think ultimately you're looking at a career guy, kind of a 240 hitter. I think that's who he really is. And Salk immediately was, no. I'll take the way under on that.
The way under?
Yeah. He thinks he's like a 220 guy, maybe at best. 215.
He might be, but when you told me that story earlier, Bob, when he said way under, I thought you meant like 210.
Well, he was saying, I think he said, and Mike can clarify if I'm wrong on this. I think he said like a 215, 220 guy. Like, yeah, I think that's kind of the best you're hoping for.
I think there's still going to be a lot of stretches ahead where he does hit 215, 220. Ultimately, though, if he's found anything, and if this streak is indicative of anything, it might be a bit better than that.
Might be, but
240, it's a pretty consistent hitter. You're at least a major league caliber hitter at that point.
We got to see what he looks like when he goes into a slump. That's the difference. And he will, like every great hitter, every bad hitter, every hitter goes into a slump. We got to see if he looks like he did, and we all know what he used to look like. Or if it's just a guy who's hitting in bad luck, it's that sort of thing. You can still see the improvements that he's made still there. We'll know when we see it. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we'll know if we see, oh God, he's back in the bad old habits that he used to have, he's just this is just a slump. He's going to be back.
Yeah, that'll be the true test. It's a lot easier for guys to ride momentum, step up the plate with a level of confidence. They just feel good, but when things go wrong, mentally, where are they at?
Right.
All right. Do they rely on what they learned? In terms of their adjustments they've made, do they believe in the mechanic? All right, it's going to come back around. I'm fine. All right.
Or do they revert back?
Yeah. Do they panic and go, okay, I got to change everything. It's not working anymore. I got to change it all. And we'll see. And one thing that I think Blowers pointed this out a couple games ago, and they were just talking about his stance up at the plate. Said, he's got a lot of Edgar to him. I'm not trying to make the claim he's becoming Edgar. He's going to be just in the visually where he's holding the bat, his stance. Now I think Edgar had a much more of a closed stance, but just if you look at him especially from behind, they were showing that camera angle when he said that. I was like, you know what, he's right. He does visually sort of have that, and I don't know if that's sort of
not a bad guy to mock.
Not at all. Not at all.
if you could do it.
And they just talked about keeping that bat in the zone a little longer, and he's just been able to do some things he couldn't do earlier. And maybe we are seeing a product of Edgar with him. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's hitting the ball the other way. I mean, one of the home runs last night was to left field. The other one was to, I won't say straight away center, but it was just off to right center field a little bit. That's important. When he first came back up from Tacoma, he was hitting the ball hard the other way. I thought that was a good sign, meaning he can hit the ball when they're pitching him away, because that's something he's really never been able to do.